Yo, 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 Thought Warriors. It's Higher Learning. What is up? It is I, Van Layton.
And it's me, Rachel Lindsay. What's up, Van?
Rachel, what's going on with you? How are you?
You know, my spirits, I feel like, are lifted. You know, LA has been opening up slowly. We've got outdoor dining. I had dinner with some close friends, my sister. I had a brunch on Saturday. So I feel good. I got out and about, not just work home. Also, you know, I'm in the process of moving because Brian's coming here. So I was.
You guys getting back together? You guys getting back together?
Didn't you just hear me say I was having I'm coming off of a good weekend?
What?
And you want to start with the rumor mill?
Right. That's all people tell me. That's all I get online.
Is that what they tell you?
They say, "Yo, Van, when are you guys going to talk about Rachel's secret divorce from Brian?"
Yeah. So we're back together. He's coming out here.
Sweet.
So I gotta find a bigger spot.
Okay,
it's expensive. My gosh, I thought prices would have dropped just with in the middle of the pandemic.
No.
A 2-bedroom is too much out here.
Okay, so you guys need a 2-bedroom, so you guys each have to have your own personal space. All right, I got you.
I think personal space is key to a relationship.
I agree.
So, you know.
I agree. I don't believe in sharing a bathroom.
We do not share bathrooms.
I don't believe in sharing a bathroom because the reality is there's a limit to how much I want you to know me. You don't want to know me that well.
You don't use the bathroom in front of Klika?
I would, but the reality is that's not what she wants because, you know, my system is a little different. I can produce different effects in there. And you don't want that. You don't want that in your life. She's so sensitive to smells that sometimes she'll just walk to the back of the house and all of a sudden she doesn't just like spray something. Like she'll sage the house after I use it in my own bathroom.
Wow.
And also, I don't want to have to like worry about, I want to keep the bathroom. It can't be nasty.
Well, why is it got to be nasty? What's wrong with you? What's going on?
I don't want it to be nasty, but I don't want to, you know, if there's some hair in the sink, fuck it. But not if the bathroom was being shared.
I don't like where this conversation is going. I don't.
You just said, so what's the point of you and Brian having different bathrooms then? I think
because I like to spread out. I like to spread out in the bathroom. I'll have a lot of stuff that I keep on the counter, which I'm trying to do better about. So I need my space. That's just more of what it is. I'll walk in the bathroom and just start and use the bathroom. Like
that's right. That's right.
I don't ask questions. I don't give you time to think about it. I just go.
Just right to it.
No boundaries.
So like both numbers?
You can get out if you want. There's the door.
Wow, Rachel, they're blowing up the spot. Crazy.
But see, I wouldn't describe what I do the way you did. There's no need for him to go all the way to the other end of the house and start staging.
It smells like roses? No,
I didn't say all that.
Defecation. So it smells bad. What I'm telling you is mine is on a different level.
Do you not courtesy flush?
Well, it depends. Sometimes it happens too quick.
Why does it depend?
Because sometimes it happens too fast. You know,
nothing for you to just flip this handle.
But a lot of times it just because I drink a lot of water. So
I apologize for the way this conversation is headed. I apologize.
And I'll impress myself. I'll be like, "Wow, fam, that was all you."
Oh my God! I'm so sorry, Thought Warriors.
Look, the audience has to know us. They have to like get to know us, and this is a part of it. My weekend was pretty good. I hung out with my friend Sterling Brim, Stilo Brim.
Okay.
Shout out to Sterling. I did his podcast yesterday, Wine and Weed podcast. We talked about a lot of things on there. It was a lot of fun. Okay.
Did you do wine or weed?
I did both. I did both, but not a lot.
Do you have to on the podcast?
You don't. But I do. You know,
but it sets the mood.
Yeah, I just take a little sip of wine, a little weed, and then after that, like I had to stop myself from eating everything in sight. Because also I couldn't go do too much because I got to get back home. So it's just a little bit. It's a little, not too much. To your point though, it was like it was different being outside and seeing people with smiles on their faces because they were eating and stuff.
People were happy.
They were.
Yeah, you felt it. The energy was up. Yeah. Beautiful weather. I have to mention something that happened just today. Did you see this? What happened?
Screech, Dustin Diamond.
Oh, I know.
Passed away.
Yeah, it was.
stage 4 cancer he had. They hadn't announced that he had cancer, I think, like last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And today he passed away. I guess they caught it too late. Listen, I had a conversation earlier because towards the end of Screech's life, not towards the end, but like in his later years, there was a lot of talk about some of his conduct and things that he did, stuff like that. Somebody hit me up and they're like, yo, I feel like people are forgetting that Screech did this or Dustin Diamond did this and Dustin Diamond did that. Don't you feel like when someone passes, especially somebody that's a part of people's childhood like that, that the first thing that they're mourning is not actually the person themselves, but what the person represented to them in their adolescence and stuff like that? Like they're mourning so much. It's like even sometimes, and this is not to be disrespectful to his memory, most people are probably not mourning the death of Dustin Diamond. They're probably mourning Screech's death.
Well, they're almost one and the same.
It's true. So,
because he played that role in the college years and the new class. So like they are one and the same. And I hate to do that to him. I don't want to like typecast him, but he's Screech. He's Screech to us. And I say that in an endearing way. He was giving black women love on TV.
He was.
Before a lot of people
he loved Lisa Turtle. Yeah, man. So, and this has nothing to do with Screech. This is just an aside. I'm not making the judgment call about Dustin Diamond in his life or anything like that. I just preface this because I don't know enough about the man to say this. But I just want to let people know, like, we're sad when bad people die too.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I had to learn when I got older, right? I would come to a place and I came out to LA and somebody would pass away and people would be like, they were a drug addict, they were a drug dealer, they were this. Well, I've mourned some criminals and some drug addicts and some drug dealers and some people that you guys might think were bad people, but I loved the hell out of them. So I think it's like weird when people go, well, when somebody passes away, they don't give people the space to be human and talk about like things they loved about the person or whatever it was. They jump right to, well, this was a terrible guy. And remember what he said and remember what he did. Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of that though.
Oh, it's happened to, it's not. This happened to like somebody personally
just in general.
Did that.
Got you.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that they were, sort of sending me articles. I'm not saying that there was anything that they're necessarily wrong. I'm just saying, God damn, man, we people. My fucking Screech passed away. Like, that's sad. That saddens me. I'm a human being, human person. So rest in peace to him. I hope that his family and everybody's okay. And I wonder what they're going to do on the show on Peacock. Because they
he's not on it.
I know, but they still have to in some way. I know he's not on the show, but they have to in some way.
I think they need to address, because I saw him do an interview where they asked him, why aren't you a part of it? And he said, I don't know. So I don't know why they didn't even include him. Everybody else, except for maybe Lisa. Was Jesse on there? Don't give me, I don't know who's on the show.
Jesse's on there.
Okay, so everybody except for Lisa and Screech.
I think Lisa even is on there in some
worse
capacity. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, don't you think it's kind of weird that they didn't include him? Because it sounds like he wanted to be included. They didn't include him, but then you're going to acknowledge him, but you didn't want to include him?
To be honest with you, I think now, if there was any static with him not being on it, it probably makes them look even worse now that he passed away so suddenly. Well, not suddenly, but so unexpectedly. Yeah. Well, it was sudden. So suddenly. So it's, he was just such a part of that whole deal. You know what I mean? Very, 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 very sad stuff. Oh, look, we have something to tell you guys about. We told you a little bit about it before, but we're recording this Monday. It comes out Tuesday, but Wednesday, we have our first Black History Month interview coming. We have a special interview coming. Okay, we're doing this for the month of February because me and Rachel are both Black. We're blowing it out. Extra Higher Learning on Wednesday. Interview, like an interview-based show, an extra bonus episode of Higher Learning. And we got our first one with Bow Wow on Wednesday. Now, you guys might be thinking to yourself, well, why? Why? You do an extra episode. It's Black History Month. Why Bow Wow? Because he makes Black history almost every other week. You see this man trending. And Bow Wow is going to answer the big questions.
Yeah, he does.
We asked him about who the best dancer between Chris Brown, Drake, and Omarion was. I think that's going to shock a lot of people. He also talked about whether or not he would want to be the next Bachelor.
Yeah.
Bow Wow was amazing. Bow Wow was amazing.
He didn't stray away from anything we asked him. We asked him about all the controversies, all of that. But I think you'll have a newfound respect for Bow Wow. You know, even Van called me out on some of the things I said about Bow Wow when Bow Wow wasn't listening. He knows now. It's a really good interview, y'all. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
Okay. We are going to take a quick break and come right back. Rachel, something happened in the beginning of the podcast. You said, are we going to do Chloe? And I didn't think about Chloe Bailey right off the top. Question. Because when you say Chloe, I'm not going to lie. My mind still thinks of Khloe Kardashian.
Of course.
To you, has Chloe Bailey overtaken Khloe Kardashian as the Chloe?
No.
Not yet?
No. Unfortunately, she hasn't yet. She hasn't yet. I mean, maybe in some circles, right? Like maybe in our culture, if you said Chloe, because I mean, like Chloe and Halle are really becoming big stars. I mean, they already are, but they're really crossing over and doing other things, which, you know, we'll get into. But generally, I think when you say Chloe, you think Kardashian.
Because this happened. Because one of my homeboys said, hey, bro, you see Chloe's cheeks on the gram? And I was like, I don't want to see Chloe's cheeks. And he was like, what you mean you don't want to? She fine as hell. I'm like, you think she fine? And he was like, bro, yeah, she fine. Like, what you saying because she too young? I'm like, she not young. She like 36 years old. He was like, damn, I did not know she was that old. And I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, bro, like she like 36. Like they older, bro. I'm like, Kim just turned 40. He was like, who is Kim? I'm like, her sister. And then he goes, her sister's name is Haley. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Is
like,
it Haley?
It's Haley or Halle or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, not like Chloe Bailey, the one that did the busted check. I'm like, oh. And then I ran right to Instagram.
To go. So I got to change all my answers now.
Yeah, I ran right to Instagram. So look, it was a whole thing. I don't know if you guys saw. So Chloe from Chloe and Halle, great group. Actually, they have fire ass music. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of times they be over here playing this shit. And I'm like, what's that? And it's Chloe and Halle. So she has been kind of spreading her wings lately. She did the Busted Challenge, which I think for people, because I'm 40 years old and I just looks like a little girl. But I think when I saw the Busted Challenge, I was like, ooh. All right. And I think everybody felt that way. So she's been expressing herself a little bit more. She posted a video to Instagram, and the video of her, she was saging a room and she was in her panties. And let's be honest with her. Her thing was thanging. It was thanging up all over the room. I was like, damn. Like, be honest with you. You're a grown up now. You're grown up. She's all grown up.
Okay.
Now, apparently, even though I didn't see this, did you see like the negative backlash to this? Did you see it?
She was trending like crazy on Twitter.
In a negative way, though?
In a negative way. But then people started to come to her defense. But definitely in a negative way because people were saying that she was... Okay, and also to give y'all some background.
Sure.
She and her sister have also had joint Instagram accounts. I don't know about the other social media, but joint Instagram accounts.
But she made her own.
So she made her own. So they've been expressing themselves and showing, you know, their individuality. And this is what Chloe's been doing on hers. So a lot of people were upset with the fact that they felt like she was sexualizing herself on her Instagram. Totally unfair.
You don't like it
at all. At all. I mean, here's the thing. This shows why they needed to separate from one another, because people were still making them the young girls that we first met years ago because they were joined together. The two little girls, the two little sisters. Chloe is 22 years old. Did you know that?
She grown.
22.
That's the thing. People say this. They acting like she 18 or 19. She grown.
Because they were together. That's why they needed to separate. They need their own identity. And I just think it's crazy that she's here, a 22-year-old grown woman stepping into womanhood, establishing herself. Actually, she's been that way. And people are punishing her for embracing who she is as a woman. at 22. And I think what was so upsetting about all of this is you see this happen over and over again where people are very critical about women, stepping into their sexuality. But it seems to be worse for Black women.
Interesting.
And let's go back to the Kardashians. People praise Kylie for her sexual pictures and the posts that she makes, and she's always showing off her body. But when a Black woman does it, they seem to be under this intense microscope, right? They seem to be held to these impossible standards and aren't given the same deference as their white counterparts. I just think it's crazy to me that Khloe is being villainized and demonized just for being a woman, being an adult woman. I mean, just expressing herself on social media. But other people don't get treated the same way that she did. It's crazy, the uproar. And then it had her crying on social media.
Yeah, she made a video. We'll play a little bit of the video in a second. Actually, let's go ahead and do that now. Just a little bit of what Khloe had to say about all of the controversy.
For every woman out there, don't change who you are to make society feel comfortable. And I'm telling myself that's not what I'm going to do. And even when I posted the video yesterday, I was posting it because I was saging and doing Palo Santo, and I was like, let's spread positive vibes. I didn't even really notice you all would talk about my ass because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just walking in for 1 second, 2 seconds.
Yeah, so, and also in that video, she said that something that I think is not true. She said she didn't even know her ass was out.
No, yeah.
Come on, Khloe.
And they were like, they were flesh tone underwear. Right. So it gave the illusion that she only was wearing a t-shirt.
Right. So she goes, she didn't even know. She wasn't even thinking about it. The reality of the situation is you take the video, then you upload the video. You know your ass is in the video. The reality is she shouldn't have to make excuses for her ass. I get why she might be saying that. She saged in the room. If I sage this room right here and all of a sudden it's swinging in the front, before I upload, it'll be, some dick in the video. And then I'm going to stop and take the dick out of the video. Or maybe I just upload
Or Instagram would have done it for you.
Or, maybe I'll upload. It's different. But I'm not saying that those things are kind of like, the same. But what I'm saying is that I'm sure she did notice it. I'm sure she wasn't as fixated on it as what we are, but I'm sure she noticed it. I will say this about this. It's interesting about your Kylie example, because you're right.
Kim too. Throw her in there too.
Kim too. You're right. Miley, whoever it's going to be. There might be talk about it, but there's not a lot of uproar. And you know what? That's our fault. Because we tend to be, as a community here, hyper prudish.
Yeah.
Very repressive about sex. And this goes back to even some of the conversations that we've had on this very podcast, right? That we've had on this very podcast, right? Remember when the girl was talking about, now she wasn't Black, but remember when the girl was talking about
Selena?
She was empowered? She was empowered because she sucked the 7 guys or whatever like that she could do whatever she wanted and blah, blah, blah. We had that conversation. There's a lot of people in those comments that are just going to be like, hey, showing your ass ain't empowering. It's just showing your ass. My thing is, it's empowering if you say you're empowered by it. So if showing your full sexual self makes you empowered, then that's a thing. And so I think those things are kind of, I'm not putting Khloe and Selena in the same category.
Please don't.
What I am saying is, I think we should take a larger look at our views of how we look people's individual sexuality, individual sexual proclivities, what they like and how upfront they are about it, and whether or not we have any place to judge anyone.
Well, I would say the difference between Khloe and Selena's friend, because it wasn't Selena who had mentioned the men, is that, as Khloe said, she was practicing, what did she say? Palo Santo? Is that what it was? Santa?
Like wow, what's that?
It's like when she was saging. That's what I believe. That's what she said.
I thought she was saging. Man, you sound like some sacrilegious witchcraft.
She
shit,
did
man.
say, but she said both. She said
we in the
both.
house of Jesus over here.
Look at her. Stop. Look at what she said. But she wasn't. Her main focus wasn't on the fact that she had her butt out. Mm-hmm. When you talk about, you can't compare her to what Selena's friend did, because she was bragging about slurping down 7 men. It's two totally different things. I'm not saying one is they're different from the other in how they were expressing themselves. Do you see what I'm saying? Chloe's saying her focus was this. It wasn't like, hey guys, I just want you to know that I got my butt out and I want you guys to see it. That wasn't what she was doing. She was focusing on staging her room. Whereas Selena's friend was all about telling her business of what she was doing. I don't think you compare the two. I can't put those two in the same way because I know what you're trying to get at about the prudish thing that you're saying. Because I actually think there's a huge difference between what Chloe was doing versus what Selena's friend.
I think there's a huge difference too, but I don't think the difference really matters. I think there's a let me just say, there is a gulf between sucking off all the suns and saging your room in your underwear on Instagram. There is a gulf, a river, a continent, or whatever. There's a gulf between those two things. I think the reaction to those two things, there's probably not as much space between them as you think there is.
Well, I don't think that Chloe was talking about empowerment when she was saging her room. Like when we had this argument before, we differed in what we were talking about empowering. I guess that's why I'm like I see what you're saying, but I guess that's why I'm not equating the two. Like, I don't think Chloe was like, I'm doing this because I'm empowering myself. She was just saging her room in her nighttime clothes. That's how I felt.
But I think though that part of what she was saying is that forget about empowering. Part of what she's saying is that she's expressing more of who she is.
Correct.
Right? By doing the Busted Challenge, by posting some sexy pictures. This is a part of who she is, and she shouldn't have to hide who she is based upon the judgments or the hangups of anyone else. And what I'm saying about that is that's real, like across the board.
Yeah,
meaning,
I got you.
If you want to suck off the suns, you ain't hurt nobody. If you like it and you're not being used or manipulated, that's your thing, and you want to suck off the suns, why should we care that you suck the suns off? You know? And so I think the judgment part of it is kind of, and all of these things are, especially black women get it especially worse.
Yeah.
But they're only ever applied to women, period.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right about what we do as a community. And I think that that's what's so hard for people, this community to accept with Chloe, is because you've seen her a certain way. You have typecasted her as that person, and you're not allowing her to be herself and to come into her own. And yes, we do that as a culture. But I'm not going to give us the whole blame, because there were a lot of people coming after Chloe for just being a woman, just stepping in her own. Like, on one hand, you can praise Jordan Woods for doing the Busted Challenge, but we can't praise Chloe. That,
because
to me,
they look at Jordan Woods differently. Yeah,
exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
And look,
they're probably the same age.
And I'm not putting. I think Jordan Woods probably a little older. I'm not gonna they're the same age range though. I'm not gonna put I'm not blaming anything. I'm not blaming it all on us. But what I'm saying is we have to kind of, our views on some of this stuff have to become a little bit more dynamic. Like things got to change a little bit. Like we have to stop searching for purity, right? People are people, and sometimes they show their ass, and it don't make them any better people. It don't make them worse people. I don't think you're any better for showing your ass.
Would you rather be Jordan, who people just already have hypersexualized her, and so when she does the Busted Challenge, she trends in a way that people are like, wow, look at her? Or would you rather be Chloe, who people look at and hold, I'm not saying I agree with this, but it seems the way people acted, to a higher standard, and so are critical of her when she's doing something like that?
To me, I always rather be the person who can exist in the skin that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means that people think that I'm a hoe or whatever, that's fine. I would rather not have to think about what it is that I'm going to do. Like, I even go through that now. Sometimes I want to get on social media and talk righteous shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I want to get on social media and be thirsty, or get on social media and be stupid, or be whatever. And I don't want to have to always be that. Like, we're people. There are dimensions to us. And you shouldn't have to worry about that, especially somebody that's really just finding herself. And by the way, they all go through this phase. all the hot younger ladies go through this phase where, oh, they all grown up. I mean, remember when Rudy did King Magazine? When Rudy, Keisha and I Pullum did King Magazine, everybody was like, oh, what? That ain't Heathcliff's daughter? She, okay, what's that? I didn't know that. What's going on? It's just interesting. Like, the whole thing is super interesting to me. But she's growing, man. People are very protective over Khloe, too.
That's the thing. She's on a pedestal. They hold her to a different standard than they do to a Jordan Woods. Not saying that's right. That's just what they've done.
Who would you rather be?
I like what you said. I just want to be someone who can be themselves and be comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Khloe, listen.
You're beautiful. Express yourself.
Right.
Do what it is you want to do without having to live in the standards that people have set for you. Be you. Set your own standards.
Young woman, and keep the content coming. You know what I mean? It's like, keep the content coming. Don't let them scare you.
You sound like a creep.
They don't run you. As a matter of fact, Khloe, I think you should go further. If you really want to show them. If you really want to show them, Khloe, I think you should take it. I think you should. No, I'm not going to say that. But I will tell you this, though. You thought I was going to say OnlyFans, huh?
I did.
No, I'm not. But I will tell you this, though. And this is something that I do want to say. Ha ha. And this is why I'm laughing. A lot of these rappers now have OnlyFans.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So we've heard for years, and it's been for years, that like a certain type of woman has been talked down on. Oh, you're a hoe, you selling this, you do this for money, you a trick. It's like 9 different degrading words for prostitute.
Right.
9 different hoe, trick, tramp, whatever you want to call them. Like all of that stuff. Man, she'll sell, bro. She'll do all of this just for some change. The economy slowed up, and half of the hip-hop industry ran to OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
It's dudes on OnlyFans showing their dicks. It's dudes on OnlyFans doing all kinds of stuff. Everybody got an OnlyFans, right?
Yep.
So stop saying what you wouldn't do.
It's true.
And stop putting, now you know what it feels like to be able to make some quick, easy cash off doing whatever. Don't make you no less.
And you like it.
And you like it. So stop. Ha, ha. We're going to take a break. Well, so there's been an ongoing soap opera down in Atlanta. Have you been keeping up with this?
I have.
The T.I. situation?
Yeah, with the soap opera, yeah.
So apparently, and this is very serious, apparently there's a woman, her name is Sabrina Pearson, and she was a longtime friend of T.I. and Tiny's. They used to hang out, do whatever, kick it together, apparently do lots of things together, if you believe her. She alleged that during the time that she was friends with T.I. and Tiny, that they were bad, horrible people who were essentially committing all types of different sexual crimes. She said that they were drug girls, that they would coerce girls, they would make girls have sex with both of them, that they were doing all types of things that that in some way they were preying on the young women of Atlanta. All right. That's probably the most succinct way of putting it. And that she knew because they had preyed on her, and not just preyed on her, but also, I guess, used her to go recruit other women or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, after she made that initial accusation, allegedly, there were accusations that she got. There were stories that she got from all different types of women.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been through those. I read some of those that corroborated her story and made actual new allegations. Allegations from having guns pulled out on you, to some women saying that they had been drugged and they woke up, didn't know where they were. Some women saying that they were forced to do things, or that they didn't know what they were getting themselves into, and they were physically and mentally manipulated by T.I. and Tiny. It got pretty out there. Mm-hmm. T.I. and Tiny came back. They've released a statement. They have denied everything. And also, T.I.'s been posting on his page that I guess there seems to be some evidence, or he has an inkling that some of the women that wrote into Sabrina were lying. because there are messages on T.I.'s Instagram where there are women saying, I just wrote all of this stuff. It's a lie. It's not true. Apparently, people are reporting that some of those things might have been fabricated and made up. I don't know what the truth is in that particular instance. But I just ask you, how are you supposed to think about this? Like, what do you make of this? We always want to take every single allegation super seriously and give it all the oxygen that it needs. But there's so many sides to this. It seems like it's difficult to glom on to any one thing, you know?
This is why we got to stay out of people's business, because we don't know the story, and we can only take what's given to us, whether it's from Sabrina's side or whether it's from T.I. and Tiny's side. But the first thing I thought when I saw this story, it made me think of the discussion we had about Chad Wheeler, the football player we talked about last week, who viciously attacked his girlfriend. And we started going down a path of talking about other NFL players who have been held accountable and who haven't been held accountable, and how they've been judged in a different way. And one thing you said and you talked about is there really wasn't a response from the NFL until there were photographs, or there was a video or a voice recording, until there was actual evidence. And unless that was given, people seem to go to the side of the aggressor rather than the victim. And so when I was looking at this, it's like, once again, I feel like Sabrina's voice maybe her story isn't given as much credibility because there's no video, there's no voice recording. It's just IG messages. And I think that that's where we go down a dangerous path. And that's why I say we got to just stay out of it, because we don't know what's true, what's a half truth, what's not true. And I think the best thing to do is you let the authorities or the court or whoever is involved with this situation be involved with it, and just hope that the truth comes out and that, justice is served for whoever it is that's deserving of it. Because this sounds extremely messy, and there are some very serious allegations. And if true, there are a lot of victims involved with this.
Yeah, I mean, if true, there are a lot of things that are, if true, are criminal, but then there are some things that are, if true, are just like freaky.
Yeah,
right? Because there's part of this is like, if you talk about anyone that's held against their will or anyone that's assaulted, those things are obviously criminal and terrible. And then there's some things that are manipulative, because remember now, I tell people this all the time, it doesn't have to be criminal for it to be wrong, right? If every day you're gaslighting your significant other, that's not criminal, but that makes you a shitty person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's other things like that, but then some of the other stuff that they're talking about is they be having orgies, they be doing this, they be doing that. Well, all of that stuff, that's just their business.
Yeah.
If they have been together for a long enough time and the three of them want to have sex with people together, that's kind of how they getting down. That's like the whole thing. But really, I looked at everything and I don't really know what to make of it. Like there are allegations being made, and it seems as if everything is, I don't want to say surface level, but there's not a lot to like sink your teeth into. Obviously, they're not going to cop to any of this stuff. And obviously, she's alleging all of this stuff happened, but it's like, I guess I put it to you this way. If I was listening to T.I. on Monday, I don't see any reason really not to be listening to T.I. on Wednesday. Like, I don't think that's the point that they're at yet.
Yeah. It just makes you wonder, because she was a friend of the family for years. So it makes you wonder what made her want to come forward, what made her want to jeopardize a friendship, long-standing relationship that she had with them. And I will say this, to add to it, their friend a few days ago, Shekinah, who she's on the Family Hustle. You see her a lot. She's really good friends with Tiny. She actually went on IG Live.
I saw that.
You see this? And she said that that Sabrina did have a sexual relationship with the hip hop couple, and she said that she did recruit other girls for them. Right. Now she's since come back and retracted that statement and said that's not quite what she meant. But if what she was saying was true, which was her initial response, there is that gives credibility to some of the things that Sabrina is saying. Maybe not everything, but some of the things that she's saying.
Well, I personally think that there's no doubt about the fact that it goes down.
They bring other people into the relationship.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think the thing that people have to know, and look, it's a very serious allegation, so it warrants people to pay attention to it. Like, you can't just be like, yo, man, like that's all bullshit. They trying to take Tip down or something like that. They trying to take, you can't do that. Like, they're very serious allegations, so you got to pay attention to them. But as it stands right now, it's just kind of like talk and stuff. Because even if she was going out and recruiting other women for them, there's nothing about that. That's not illegal. We have to talk about how these women are being recruited.
And who are these women?
And who are these women? And do they have the opportunity to say no? And you know what I mean? And are they made to feel safe and all of that stuff? And those are the things that are out there that have kind of, that are left to be culturally litigated.
Yeah.
Those types of things right there.
I don't think this is a, hey, stop listening to T.I.'s music or watching his shows or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, don't be dismissive to the allegations that Sabrina's making. But at the same time, like, don't pick a side. Don't give your opinion. We just need to pay attention to the story and see what happens.
Yeah. If there's going to be more information, then there's going to be more information, and it'll all be right there. You know what I mean? It's that's for kind of everyone to do it. And I think there's something else. It's not an either or. There was a time when accusers were simply dismissed whenever they would make something.
Right.
And in favor of power or money or whatever it is, they were just dismissed. That culture of that's gone. That's over.
Yeah.
All right. But, there's still a lot of information to kind of be parsed through. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm saying that I don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
People
so then don't be judgmental, you guys. Don't judge.
Well, what I'm saying is when the 15 allegations came out, I was like, oh shit, that looks bad. But then when you see the other stuff and it's like people are recanting allegations or saying that they made them up, now I'm like, I don't know. Even is that stuff even real? So it's just too much. I don't really know what to make of it. But it was out there, and it was like, man, I'll tell you what. That Thursday and Friday that we were sort of recording, while we were recording, all of this stuff was like going on at the same time. At the same time, I didn't even hear about the T.I. and Tiny thing. I remember after we got like, God damn it, we missed that. Everybody was going to be talking about that.
But I'm glad we waited because more things that they've released a statement now. We're getting more information.
Complex.
So I want to hear both sides of the issue before we talk about it.
And we should say Sabrina has not stopped. There's been nothing that's made Sabrina come back and say, hey, this isn't true or anything like that. She's continued on her Instagram page to make more accusations, and she is sticking by her. So she's coming after everyone that's like even around T.I. and she's coming for it. Okay. You see that Black Lives Matter was nominated for the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize?
I did.
Who do you think nominated Black Lives Matter for the Nobel Peace Prize?
I know who nominated them for the Nobel Peace Prize. It was not an American.
Not an American.
And I said, well, of course it wasn't, right? It was a Norwegian man.
A Norwegian member of the Norwegian Parliament, Peter Eid, says, I find that one of the key challenges we have seen in America, but also in Europe and Asia, is the kind of increasing conflict based on inequality. Eid said, Black Lives Matter has become a very important worldwide movement to fight racial injustice. Rachel, do you agree with Black Lives Matter being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize because this is controversial?
Absolutely. And I'm like, you know what? I knew it wasn't an American, first of all. Second, I didn't know an organization could be nominated. I always thought it was individuals. So that opened my eyes. I learned something new with that, even though an organization won last year. Again, I just learned this. But I said, yes, here's a man who gets it.
Right.
Here's a man who has not politicized what this organization stands for. This is a man who is watching what this organization has been doing for years, didn't just pop up in 2020, and focused on the initiatives that they are trying to push forward, what they are about with racial equality, social justice. And he said and he's seen the effects that it's had worldwide, not just in America. Very well deserving of the Nobel Peace Prize. So I'm for it. Plus, Peter came with receipts for the naysayers, with statistics.
Stats.
Yeah.
Tell me the stats that he came with. I didn't see them.
He said, 90. So people were saying, oh, it's political. Oh, they've had, riots and there's been violence in U.S. cities. And he said, actually, that's not true. Most of them have, of course, most of the people that have been participating and have been involved have not been causing serious harm to people or property. And he gave the statistic that 93% of the Black Lives Matter demonstrations involved did not cause serious harm to person or property. And that data was assembled by the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project in September 2020.
Wow. I didn't even know such a project
existed. Didn't either, but Peter did his research. He said, if I'm going to come here and I'm going to nominate them, I know they're going to be people against me because another Norwegian man actually nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Right. So, yeah, he said there's a strong linkage between anti-racism movements and peace. And he even referenced Mandela. He referenced Martin Luther King Jr.
Dr. King.
So, thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And said that Black Lives Matter movement was just as deserving. And he's right.
Yeah. I think that this is an important moment. Things like this do something that I think we have to do more of.
And that is
shame America. And look, you guys, I'm an American. I believe in American ideals. I believe in so many of the things. If I didn't believe in them, I wouldn't be fighting for them. Okay. If I didn't think that I was a part of this country or whatever, I wouldn't care about all of this different stuff. I think there's so much strife in the struggle and the search for America. And that in and of itself is kind of why, it's why you do it. Because you believe in these things. If they could be applicable to you, that would be great. And I think that when there's something inside of this country that is particularly American, which Black Lives Matter is, it is particularly American to organize, mobilize, and unify a group of people who feel ill-represented to try to achieve a greater societal good. It's particularly American because that is what America is. It's what the country is founded on. Once again, I say it all the time. Bunch of rich white slave owners decide, hey, we're paying into a system that we're not being represented in. We're going to fuck everything up. We're going to fuck it all up. You throw all your tea in the harbor, okay? We're going to do all of this stuff. No. We don't want to do it anymore. And then you come over here making fuss. We're going to fight you, and we're going to subjugate you until we get our rights, right? Now, Black Lives Matter is doing it a little bit different. They're being disruptive on the ground and in pop culture in order to make people see that they, in fact, are representing a group that is ill-represented and ill-protected in America.
Absolutely.
So that disruption for the greater good is particularly American. Particularly. And it's interesting that is recognized outside of the country.
Because they're not politicizing it. They are not.
That it seems as if the Norwegians understand what we're trying to be more than we do. Like, they get it.
Of course.
Because you know what, though? It's interesting. I was talking to somebody about this, about the vaccine and stuff like that.
Okay.
So how do you feel about the vaccine? Like, we talked about this before, but now how do you feel about the vaccine?
I feel like I'm going to take it. That's how I feel about it.
Do you understand that? It's interesting. Black people's hesitancy to take the vaccine is karma.
Why do you say that?
So, in order to get the wheels of America moving again, the Black community, 40 million people, they need to do their part in being vaccinated, right? Now, they don't want to get vaccinated, a lot of the Black people that I talk to, because of a fear of the American government, right? You've heard this before. Like, we don't trust medical people and stuff like that. Right. That's because of white supremacy. White supremacy is the reason that Black people are scared to take the vaccine.
They don't trust it. Yes.
They don't trust it. Things like Henrietta Lacks, the Tuskegee experiment, the fact that they live in food deserts, the fact that everything in America seems to be engineered to make them as unhealthy as possible. Now here comes a shot that the government, that same government, is telling you is going to keep you healthy. And you're saying, why would I believe you now? The only difference is, in the past, all of those food deserts and all of that stuff, it didn't really affect white people because they benefited from white supremacy. You know, I'm sure it had it. But now, that same white supremacy, they need solidarity from the people they've been hurting, and they don't have it. So it's interesting to me. I thought about this like all of Sunday. The fact that really America needs the sign-off of so many different people to get the economy back on track. But the deal is so rotten that no one will believe it. And it kind of serves them right.
Yeah, but it hurts us, right? Yes, I get what you're saying. It serves them right, because you're also saying yes for the economy, yes also for herd immunity to take place. You need us to take it. But if this virus is affecting us at different levels than it's affecting white people, then it hurts us if we're not taking if you believe the virus will prevent you from getting this virus.
If the vaccine, you mean?
Yeah. If you believe the vaccine helps you from getting this virus. So it almost hurts us too, though, if we're not taking it. No, not
almost. It does.
It does, sorry. But if we're not taking it. So I get what you're saying about karma for them, but then what does it do for us?
You're right. And this is the reason why people have to understand, to me, like when we talk about this stuff, people got to get what all of this really means. You really have to think that Black people, Latinos, anyone else, women, you really have to be right about us not being worth shit. That's got to be true. Because if these conditions are going to continue and persist, if America's going to continue to move undercapitalizing huge lumps of people, underdeveloping, undernourishing, incentivizing and investing into huge groups of people, those people have to really be the depths of human bullshit that you think they are, because if not, your country is losing a ton of genius, a ton of productivity, a ton of solidarity, all types of ideas, all types of you're throwing so many people away. And there was never a way to really drive that point home to Americans, because they wouldn't believe you, because really they do believe that we're less than, until now. Now, you simply need people to be healthy.
Let me ask you this. For the Black people who don't want to take the vaccine, are they paying, because they don't know enough about it, they don't trust the government, are they paying attention to the Black people who have taken the vaccine and seeing what type of effect it has on them? Is that going to change their mind? Are they waiting for enough people to get it? Or are they just like, you know what, I'm never going to take it? Because to me, that argument doesn't make sense if you're watching Black people take the vaccine, right? Both my parents have taken the vaccine. My dad has had both doses. My mom has had one. I've yet to see any adverse effects. They haven't developed COVID yet. Let's hope they never do. But if they didn't have it before. So my thing is are you paying attention to the people who are taking it and seeing what kind of effect it has on them? And will that change your mind? Because otherwise that argument doesn't make any sense.
First of all, I want to say something real quick. That I would never impugn the reputation of Judge Lindsay on this podcast. But I think it's interesting that Judge Lindsay went before his wife and got both doses of the vaccine when his wife has only had one shot. Now listen, Judge Lindsay was on this podcast, and for a full hour, this man got at me about how decent I am. And while at his home, Judge Lindsay took 2 doses His wife still, what if they run out of vaccine? What if they run out?
My mom was fine. My mom was fine.
Sure
My
she's
mom
fine.
didn't qualify. My dad did. Hold up.
All right.
Federal judges, and he's over 65, were able to get it. He fought for my mom to get it. My mom told him it was okay for him to take it. I'm not going to have you doing my family like that on this podcast. You're not going to tear down the judge's reputation.
I'm not tearing down his reputation. I'm saying,
I'm telling you how it went down.
I'm not tearing down his reputation. I'm saying, hey, where I'm from, a Southern gentleman is ladies first. You know,
believe me, he tried.
Anyway, no, but you're right. What I would say to your question is it depends on who those people are that are Black that you see taking the vaccine. I'll tell you what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Because a function of being reactionary to white supremacy is we only really trust what we know.
Okay.
So the guys in the hood that come through in the hood that have the natural healing places and that give you the juices and that do all of that stuff right there that come through with that type of information, they're there every day. And you see them every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know them, right? Now, you don't really have a family doctor like that because you're too poor to have a family doctor. You only go to the doctor when there is something seriously wrong with you. I'm not speaking for all Black Americans. I'm speaking for some of the people that I've talked to that are hesitant about the vaccine and some of the communities that they're representing. So there is an association with doom with medicine anyway, because preventative medicine and all of those things just to live a more full and more vital sort of, healthy life, you don't really see that. So when you go there to get the doctor to get a shot in the first place, something's already wrong with you. So there's a lot of things that play into this. And a lot of those guys that are in your communities that are, the homeopathic medicine or Eastern medicine, or you see guys at the mosque or, people around there, these people in the hood that are Afrocentric or whatever.
Yeah.
They're telling you don't take the vaccine. Now, you might not necessarily trust them on anything else because you don't go to their shop all the time and drink all of that shit when they tell you to, but you know them.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there every day.
Mm-hmm.
These medical people aren't.
Right.
And so, and also there's something else about this. This white supremacy thing goes further back. Do you know who really invented vaccination?
Who?
Now, the guy credited with inventing vaccination is a doctor named Dr. Edward Jenner from Europe. He was a guy who, so he noticed that there was a disease called cowpox. We're talking about smallpox now. There's a disease called cowpox. And cowpox affected cows. It was a milder form of smallpox. Okay. And so what he noticed is that cows don't die from cowpox. They get sick mildly, but they don't die. Now, the milkmaids that would work on the cows, they would get cowpox. And they would get cowpox, mild form, not die, but those same women wouldn't get smallpox. The cowpox disease in them made them immune to smallpox to a degree. He noticed that. So what he decided was to do something called a variolation. Variolation, at first, what it is he would take some of the pus from the cowpox, right? Take it out of it. He variolated a young man, right? He got a mild form of the disease. He was fine. Then he purposefully exposed him to smallpox. Kid didn't get sick. Boom. He figures it out. Vodka actually comes from cow, right? That's how you get the word vaccine. Now, there was all kinds of reasons why the vaccine at that point, people didn't want to take it because they thought it was unclean or all of that stuff like that. So he's the modern father of vaccination. By 1980, smallpox is eradicated, right? There's no more smallpox. Here's the thing about him. The reason why he felt comfortable trying this is because when he was a little boy, he was variolated. Variolation comes from Asia and Africa. Asians way back in the day would take the scabs from smallpox. They would wrap them in cotton, They would smoke them. It's called insufflation. And they would go ahead and they would smoke the scabs and they would produce some immunity. In Sudan, they would variolate. They would take some pus, from somebody who had smallpox, right? Give it to you while you were young, and then you would develop an immunity to it. There's even records of slaves doing this for slave masters here in the United States because they knew how to treat it. The reality is, because Black minds are cut off from that history, they don't know that the origins of this don't come from some seedy medical. It comes from people understanding the way the human body works and how to make the human body produce a response that'll protect you something. And not only that, but it was actually your ancestors who are partly responsible for this, right? Eastern medicine that moved into Europe and then was taken to the next level or modernized when the technology was better. They don't feel like they have any cultural ownership of it. They think it's something foreign that's being forced on them. No, it's all of you. Like, you're a part of it. But because in America, they give you such a Eurocentric view of what history actually is, and it only seems like somebody white came up with everything. It's easy for you to say that's foreign, that's not of us, we're not doing this. Every time they say something that goes left, it goes bad, and boom. So just all of this stuff.
Wow, I never knew this. Very interesting.
Well, it is, right? And it's like, now you think, hey, the world is a much, much bigger place, and everybody had a part in making kind of things what they are. But you like, people were subtracted from that on purpose. And now we don't have enough solidarity to get people to do what's best to save their lives and to save the country. And it's weird.
Do you think it's that widespread in the Black community that they're not going to take it? Because I feel like the more I'm talking to Black people, they're like, they either know someone or they themselves came down with the virus and it put the fear in them to take it.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think you're probably right. I think it's probably because, once again, we make the mistake of thinking that, like, the Black community is represented on Twitter or on, Instagram. And I'd be interested to know what the numbers really are.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know. We will see.
But as you can tell, Van will be taking it from that beautiful history lesson that he just gave us.
I'm taking it.
And I will too.
I'm taking it. I'm not saying that I'm thrilled about it. Let's keep it.
Sure. But I mean, who is? I'm not thrilled about it either, but
right.
I will be taking it.
I will be taking it.
No questions asked.
All right. Let's take a break real quick. All right. New segment. So, new segment called Clubhouse Chats. Well, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to Clubhouse. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to read out some of the topics on Clubhouse right now in real time on Monday at 4:06 that people are talking about. And then me and Rachel are going to talk about one because these rooms are wild. Okay.
I'm very new to Clubhouse. Let's just put that in there.
Okay. So these are currently the most popping rooms in Clubhouse. The first one is The Arcade. Elon Musk is going to Mars, but will Black Lives Matter there? And by the way, some of the homies are in this room. Shout out to The Game is in this room. He's a speaker. My girl Lisa's in that room.
How do you get to be a speaker? Does that mean you started, or somebody has to give you permission to start talking?
Well, yeah. When you come into a room, depending on who you are, like, people will make you a speaker so you can participate in the conversation.
But when you come into the room, you are not automatically talking.
No, you're not automatically talking.
That scared me. Okay, keep going.
Okay. All right, so these are the other ones. All right. Coming to America 2, we watching? ? Basically, the room is about whether or not we're going to watch Coming to America.
Why would we not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, here's another one. Men are selling penis for $3,500.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Selling it. What does that mean?
That's what it says. There's question mark.
Tap that one. I want your name to pop up in that one. Go ahead and tap that one.
I'm not tapping that at all. Trying to think what else we're we're seeing here. There's more. There's a lot of this stuff is Elon Musk related. A lot of it is, do I really need a record deal? Indie versus major labels. That seems like it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Everyman. Men don't have friendships and why that matters. That's not true at all.
Like female friendships or just friendships, period? I
think they just said friendships, period. Okay. Oh, this is one. The culture creator. Just tell me which topic you want to talk about.
I already told you.
Which one?
Men are selling penis for $3,500.
We're not going into the Clubhouse room. We have to talk about this on our podcast.
Oh, I thought we were going
I don't know nothing. No. How are we going to do that?
I just wanted your name to pop up in that room.
Like men are selling pieces for $3,500. How? I want to know. I want to know. I wonder what the going price for my penis would be.
But does that mean you're selling sex? That's why I want. What are they? What is it?
I think it's probably you would be selling sex.
Okay, it's just title.
I wonder how much. I wonder how much I would be worth.
Step into the room and ask.
I think $3,500 is about
overpriced.
Is about the right price. I would feel bad.
Do you ever do a date auction in college?
No. What's that?
What?
What's a date
auction? You never
auction?
did a date auction where
no.
It's to raise money for a organization, charity, whatever, and
like
people bid on you.
People bid on me?
Yes, that's just what it made me think of. Did you ever do that in college?
No, just remember that in college, I was 350 pounds.
I'm not trying to be funny. I just really...
Nah, I think you were.
No, I think it was
like... I think I'm up there. Who's sponsoring the date auction? Twinkies? Hostess? Like, who's sponsoring it? Like, okay, we got the big date auction. We got Van Lathan. All right, he's got a BMI of 35. He's up here right now. Ladies, we're going to let you bid 2 boxes of spicy chicken for this brother. He's going to eat them both. Right here. Like, no, I don't know. No, I think they had those, but I've never. Did you do it?
Yes.
Did you do it? Why? What's so funny?
Because I wasn't trying to be funny.
But
as soon as I said it, I thought,
you were. You always
he's
bring it up.
He's going to take this to another level.
You always bring it up. Man, remember that time in your life when you were...
I brought up college.
Cripplingly lonely. Did you ever have women throwing themselves at you for money?
You had the player-proof crew, so stop.
So did you do it? Did you do a date auction?
I did.
How much did you get?
It was really embarrassing. I don't know why I did it as a freshman. Nobody knew me. Everybody was bidding on people they knew. There were athletes in there. Nobody knew me. I think I've been in college a month.
How much did you get? How much did you get?
And it was my friend who did it because he felt sorry for me because they were about to start lowering the price.
Okay. Oh, what? They never went up on the additional. Oh, wow. So what was the date auction? How much did you go for?
I think I went for $35.
Yo,
Yes. First one. By the time I got out, I was known. I did it again as a senior and I went for more. Yeah.
If you were going on a date auction right now, Rachel Lindsay date auction, if it was, let's say it was online, right?
Oh, God.
And everybody got to...
Anybody could bid.
Anybody could bid. What do you think the number that people would pay for Rachel Lindsay would be right now?
I'd say 6 figures.
Wait a minute. Hold on for a second, Rach.
Your face.
Back up the truck. Come on, Rach. Back it on up. The truck is back that truck up into the realm of the real.
Oh, I can't.
6 figures?
I should have said $1 million, right?
No, you really think you can get 6 figures?
You opened it up to anybody online.
Anybody online.
Do you know the online community? You've got super fans of The Bachelor. You got freaky people. And you're telling people that they can spend time with me? I do think that it would go for 6 figures.
What? When you say 6 figures, are you talking about right at 100? Or are you talking about
I'm talking high end.
What? Wait. Wait, what?
500 to $1 million.
What the hell?
Man, what would you say? What would you say?
For me?
Yeah.
What? At the most, probably the 3,500.
Is it a date? Is it a date? Is it an evening?
It's the same thing. Whatever the day auction thing that you were doing before, it's the same.
Okay,
joke.
it's like a date. Like you get to spend the evening with this person, not into the next morning. But unless you want to take it there, it's just an evening.
Chip and Dale.
Okay.
Chip and Dale did it.
Rach, if you think that you could get 500,000 to $1 million, and then you owe it to the people to do that. Think about how much money you could be raising. Think about the people. Think about how many people you could help with $500,000.
$500,000, Rach.
I'm not for sale, and I'm married.
It's just
we're just gonna have to use our imaginations. But Jackson, my imagination says well above 500,000.
Jackson, let me ask you a question. No bullshit, Jackson. Jackson, don't go out like a fucking sucker right now.
Jackson, don't you answer. Don't you put a number on me. Jackson, don't you put a number
Jackson,
on me.
I'm serious, bro. Because Jackson, Isaiah too. Isaiah, you there too. None of this, don't go out like a sucker. Do you think that Rachel could get $500,000?
You open it to anybody.
500, open it to, I don't give a damn. We open it all to anyone. Do you think Rachel could get $500,000?
Feels like a lot.
That's a lot of money, Rachel.
Yeah, we're reaching.
Look, Isaiah's in there. That's
no,
a lot of money,
no slight on Rachel. There's not a lot of people who I think.
Nah, fuck it. Slight.
Nah.
We don't have 500K.
I'm definitely not going for 3,500.
No,
you wouldn't go for 35. Come on. No, you Rachel Lindsay from The Bachelor.
500,000 feels like a lot.
You with your Rachel Lindsay from The Bachelor. You wouldn't go for 35.
I 6 figures. Fine, put me on the lower end of 6 figures. Put me on the lower end.
Let me be real with you. This is what I like. What we're not going to do is as 3 men talk Rachel's worth down.
That's right. You're not going to Chloe Bailey me. That's what you're not going to do.
We're not. But what we are going to do is we're going to open this up. We're going to have one of our coder friends create a fake page where we're auctioning off a date for Rachel Lindsay. We have to answer this question. You know what? We're not going to do it in an immediate time. But I'm telling you right now, at some point in the future, we're going to do this. We're going to have an auction page. Rach and me. And we're going to see what these numbers are. No, it's not a competition because I know you go for more than me.
You just put it as a competition.
It's not a competition.
You just said you're going to put me and Rach.
We just got to know what the number is. We got to know we got to know our worth. Because everybody says know their worth, but they don't really know their worth. We got to know our worth. I want to know.
Should we do it on Clubhouse? Can you do that kind of stuff? You know, I'm new to Clubhouse. I don't understand it.
I don't know how you would work the auction. That would be a hell of a room, though. I don't know how you would work the auction on Clubhouse. I don't know how you would work it. Clubhouse is crazy. And you haven't been on Clubhouse.
I got on Clubhouse today, okay? I got on Clubhouse, I joined, and somebody immediately started talking to me and it scared me.
Right.
I don't understand it.
Because when you pop in, they go, oh, it's Rachel Lindsay. We gotta put her in the conversation.
Yeah, someone was like, Rachel, hey, Rachel. And I just started hearing a voice. And I didn't realize that's what it was. I thought I had to join a room. I didn't know random people could start talking to me.
Yo, there's another room that just popped up. It's got 673 people in it.
What is it?
Future Wife Masterclass, Safe Space. Ask Black men questions. It's essentially a room where women are going into the room and they're asking Black men questions because they want to be future wives.
Stop it. Stop. What? How many people are in it?
673.
I'm mad at all these women.
827 people in the Will Black Lives Matter on Mars room. I'll tell you something else, man. People, they dick riding Elon Musk. They riding his nuts.
Why?
I don't know. All right. Some of these, I might go into the Coming to America Are We Watching room because I don't understand how that could be a room. Obviously, we're going to watch Coming to America. We'll see.
Of course.
Yeah, we're going to watch the movie. Okay, look, I don't know, man. I'll tell you one thing I'm excited about tonight.
Oh, it's The Bachelor. I keep forgetting. I'm like, what is tonight? Even after Matt James went off the charts, off the Weenie Roast charts.
Yeah,
you still.
Okay. I'm still there. I'm excited about not so much the season,
Okay.
But I'm excited about the heights of weenie that Matt James can get to. Like, because I'll be honest with you. You like Matt James. And
I support Matt James.
You support him. I support him too. You think I don't support him? Do you think I have something personally against Matt James?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't. But I will tell you that I don't think he's a very popular bachelor.
Why do you say that?
Because the Thought Warrior community loves when I roast Matt James.
They love you.
No, they love to see
and
him
they love
roasted.
mess.
Nah, I can't tell you. You know how many? I got people hitting me up with Matt James shit from when Matt was in middle school.
Nobody is DMing me this.
Well, I'm getting hit up with like.
You saw the Mitt Romney picture?
I saw the Mitt Romney picture. They sent me the Mitt Romney picture.
That was the year. That means he was running against Obama.
Running against Obama and Matt James. Let me tell you something.
Mitt Romney rally.
So let me look at I have to look at this. And this is the type of shit that we're talking about. I just want to talk about this real quick because we're about to go. But this is the type of shit I want to bring up. I'm going to bring up the Matt James, Mitt Romney picture right now. And the thing that I noticed about it more than anything was this. And this is the way you can tell that people are agents, right? This is the way you can tell. So I'm looking at it right now. So I look at this picture with Matt James and Mitt Romney. Matt has no line. Matt is in no. He has his hair. He never has he has no hairline. I mean, I'm not saying he has a bad hairline like he's going bald. I'm saying he's in college and his hair and he got a buddy cut. He got a it's not a true buddy cut, but it's in college. He in college and he got a buddy cut.
Let me see it.
He looking trash out there. He looking trash out there, and that tells me that he wasn't fucking with no black girls. There's no way. And he a good looking guy. Matt James is a handsome guy. Whatever college he was at,
Wake Forest.
All right, man. Okay. Shout out to the Demon Deacons, bro.
Not the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, y'all got me watching this show. This guy. I'm really hoping that Matt James doesn't weenie it up tonight. I'm hoping. I'm hoping he doesn't weenie it up.
On the buddy cut.
You got a buddy cut. Nigga got a buddy cut. I should know what a buddy cut is. I got one right now. And look, not because of my barber, just because I'm losing my hair. But like Matt James got a buddy cut right here. That fade is terrible. That nigga shit look like that fade is terrible. It really looks. You ever see one of those post-apocalyptic movies where people don't have access to like clippers anymore, so everybody's hair just kind of look fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like you could tell that there's still some semblance of society because they're still they're taking a blade and they're cutting their hair, but everybody's doing the best that they can. That's how he looks. He looks like a nuclear weapon just went off.
I'm so Thought Warriors. Y'all stop doing Matt James like that. Y'all stop sending Van stuff to try to up the number on the weenie roast, okay? Y'all had no business. They did send me the Mitt Romney picture. I did check that out.
Yo, Rachel, how did you post the ad 9 minutes ago?
I didn't post an ad.
It says, with today being the first day of Black History Month.
That's not an ad.
I feel how I'll be dedicated. Yo, you are so, wait a minute. You just did this just now?
I got people.
I'm dedicated, in the next few weeks, I'm dedicating my Honestly Rich blog to these noteworthy people. Rach, you out here cooking while we doing the podcast.
That's not an ad. Somebody posted that for me.
That's an ad for the Honestly Rich blog.
That's something that I do for my followers. It's something personal. I get no money. Well, I don't get money off of this. This is something I'm doing.
Let me look at past Honestly Rage's.
Get off my back. We're going
we gotta go.
This ain't about to turn into no Rachel Lizzie roast.
No, we're not gonna roast. You the queen of the cat. Nobody gonna roast you. Like, nah, this is our shit.
I just got roasted for my 500,000 plus.
Nah, you didn't get roasted.
Online.
Nah, that was a family talk. I love that though. That's what I'm talking about. Rachel was like, I'm worth $500,000.
Easy.
I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with it. All right. You got anything else?
No. We're good.
That means we are all done. You guys, tomorrow, Bow Wow. This is a great interview that we're doing. We got a lot of good stuff coming up for you guys tomorrow. Bow Wow. Do not miss it. Take your thing caps off, but do not stop learning. I am Van Lathan.
I'm Rachel Lindsay.
Yeah.